Hey guys, it is ToPro or Adam, and welcome back to another BO4 Zombies video. Today I'll be going over 7 reasons why I think BO4 Zombies flopped or just didn't live up to our expectations. So this is something that I've never done before, and that is forgetting what my previous sound quiz was. During this moving process, you guys can see I'm in a different place. That memory that contained the sound quiz in my head kind of disappeared, and I went back and listened to it, and I have no idea what that sound is. It is a really hard one, so my apologies, guys. A lot of you guessed a ton of random things, but I have no clue what it is. But today's sound quiz I'll make sure to actually write down. Along with commenting what you think this sound is, go ahead and comment at least one reason, or what do you think is the biggest reason why BO4 Zombies flopped. And of course, if you guys are new here and you still enjoy the Zombies content, go ahead and hit that sub button. If you are subbed, make sure those notifications are turned on. And besides that, let's go ahead and jump into reason number 7 why BO4 Zombies kind of flopped. Starting things off in our number 7 spot, we're going to talk about the supply of content that BO4 Zombies has received. So ever since the beginning of 2019, Zombies has actually had a really nice amount of content when it comes to stuff that aren't actual maps. Because we're used to getting maps, you know, every 3 or 4 months, even though we're still waiting on DLC 2. But outside of that, Zombies has had a pretty decent amount of content this year. But when BO4 first came out and the majority of the player base was playing, you know, Zombies, or sorry, I should say the majority of the Zombies player base was actually active in playing Zombies, there was absolutely no new content to keep us hooked and playing Zombies. For example, if Gauntlets were released, let's say 2 or 3 weeks after the release of BO4, it would be a much more active and popular game mode. But since it was released, first of all, on Voyage of Despair to start with, and during a time where Zombies was just, you know, really dead, and it still is in that state, you know, obviously you're not going to have as many people trying out this new mode, even though Gauntlets are absolutely amazing and probably the best game we've ever had in Zombies outside of survival. But the main point here is the lack of content at the beginning really hurt Zombies. Coming in at my number 6 spot, I have Blackouts, and Blackout obviously is currently the most popular and the most active game mode within BO4, so obviously it's going to get the most attention from Treyarch and of course Activision as well. And I'm sure before the release of BO4, the development of Blackout hurt Zombies as well. When BO4 first started development, there was no such thing as a BR craze. There was no Fortnite. I believe maybe H1Z1 was out and popular at the time, but there was no craze like there was when BO4 first came out. And of course, I think it was rumored that about a year before the release of BO4, the development of Blackout started. And it's just weird how when the game launched, Blackout and MP, I'm sure, had their bugs, but it was nothing like Zombies. It feels like the development of Zombies was interrupted in some way that caused the mode to be completely broken on launch. Coming in at our number 5 spot, and we're going to continue with the whole talk of the unstable launch, I have the horrible launch in this spot because obviously that played a factor to Zombies not being as high up as it was in BO3. And when you have so many people playing this mode at the launch when the game's unstable, actually it was longer than just a week or 2, it was months that Zombies was unstable, people trying to do Easter eggs, people trying to play the game normally, and having the game crash is really discouraging, especially to new players, and that hurt Zombies big time. If you're a new new player or even a returning player and you're coming back to zombies after a long break from it during World War II or even during Infinite Warfare, you come back and play zombies and you can't even get past round 12 or round 10, or your game blue screens at the main menu, or you're doing an Easter egg over and over again and you can't complete it. That kind of stuff is a recipe for disaster, and it killed off a large portion of the BO4 Zombies player base. Coming in at my number 4 spot, too much change too quickly. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. There were a lot of things that worked really well with the old mechanics. One, of course, I wasn't crazy about was the perk system. You guys know that I love the BO4 perk system a lot more than the old one, but there were so many changes with zombies, and when it first came out, when BO4 first came out, it kind of felt like I wasn't playing a Treyarch game. Now, of course, now that we're months and months in, yeah, it feels more like I'm playing a Treyarch Call of Duty, but, it was a bit of a shocker at first, and I'm sure it drove away a lot of OG players who were so used to that old system. So introducing all of these changes all at once and dropping it on us, I think it was a little bit too much, and there were a lot of things that honestly didn't need to be changed. Coming in at the number 3 spot, of course we have to talk about the new story, and personally, I don't mind the new story and the new cast, because the story is a little bit easier to follow. The Chaos story, or the Ether story, is really complex, and I've kind of given up trying to understand everything that's going on. So the Chaos story is better in that way, but still, there's something about that original crew, and I kind of felt the same way during BO2. And we had the new crew in BO2, even though it was the same universe, and even though we had, Richtofen in there, I really wanted that original crew back, and I kind of feel that same way right now. One good thing is that DLC 2 is going to be the last map that features the Chaos crew, and DLCs 3 and 4 will be going back to the Ether storyline, which is very, very exciting, but that Ether storyline will always have the biggest pull, and there's definitely no doubt that the Chaos story has kind of left people a little bit uninterested in wanting that original crew back. So I'm sure once the Ether crew does come back in DLC 3 and 4, I'm sure there's going to be a big spike in the amount of people playing zombies once again. Coming in at the number 2 spot, time. And what I mean by that is zombies has been around for a long time now, actually over 10 years, and all good things must come to an end, and the fact that zombies stayed relevant for over 10 years is mind-blowing, because zombies is simply just a mode within a game. It's not the primary focus of Call of Duty, it's just a side mode, and it's not in every single Call of Duty. Let's be honest, we all care about the Treyarch mode, not necessarily World War II zombies or Infinite Warfare. So the fact that Treyarch zombies remain so popular and grew so much is incredible, but all good things must come to an end, and I just feel like it's time for zombies. It had its time in the spotlight, it was great, but it's kind of time for zombies to kind of wither away, and we move on to something else. So coming in at my number 1 spot, I believe that this thing right here played the biggest role when it comes to the decline of the zombies community here in BO4, and that is expectations. I feel like with zombies, there have never been these massive expectations, because when zombies first released, it was a surprise. We never knew it was coming. Then the community was small, and it kind of grew slowly over time, but after the massive success that BO3 Zombies was, and of course the Zombies Chronicles, going into BO4, I think all of us had these unrealistic expectations with BO4 Zombies. When BO4 was announced back in April or May of 2018, expectations were really high for zombies. Seeing, you know, Blood of the Dead or Mob of the Dead remastered, and seeing, you know, the, IX and Voyage, you know, it was really exciting. And a lot of people had really high expectations with, you know, callings, which still are not in the game, or factions, and, you know, mutations. All that stuff sounded so promising and so exciting. Then BO4 came out, and with the game not being stable and people not liking the Chaos map as much and all of these new changes, I feel like a lot of people were disappointed because the expectations were just so high. The bar was so high, and the truth is, since Zombies is just a side mode within, you know, Blackouts 4, they don't have the support to manage all of these expectations. And with Zombies constantly growing, this was something that was just bound to happen. Treyarch was eventually going to misfire, and they kind of misfired at the wrong time. There we have it, guys. Those were 7 reasons why I think BO4 Zombies kind of flopped. I still think there's a lot of potential with BO4. Let's see what happens when factions are added in, because apparently that's supposed to be a big update for Zombies. And of course, the Ether storyline with DLC 3 and 4 could be a pretty big event within the Zombies community, but we'll have to see when all that happens, hopefully in a couple of months. Besides that, guys, enjoy the video, drop a like, subscribe for a ton of BO4 Zombies content, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.